guys, with you here, bringing you the Promised Neverland anime review. This is episode 3. This was titled 181045. As we already know, this continues from last episode. We got 2 new people. We got a new sister, Sister Chrome, and a new child to take Kana's place. I believe his name is Carly, a baby, and with these 2 people coming in, Norman, Ray, and Emma are thinking to themselves, Mama got help because she probably figured that she needs it to, watch these kids more, and she's gonna use her as a watchdog to keep over the kids. And they also started to think, since what happened to her, and now they bring this new baby in, there must be other farms producing babies. And when those babies become a certain age, then they get sent to a farm. And then once those kids from the farm grow up to a certain age, they get shipped off to a demon party and get eaten. So, they thinking about, situations like, where are the other farms, how are they doing this? They also bring up a good point where it can be the trackers, and Mama can track them with her wallet, the watch pocket that she has. And, they strategizing and plotting out how to escape and how they're going to escape with the kids and when can they escape and stuff like that. And, we get switched over and we get this scene where, Elma's, with the baby and she's washing him and putting on his new clothes, but at the same time she's examining his body to find out where the tracker can be. And there was the other girl next to Elma, the one with the glasses, with the bob haircut, which I always forget her name. We got her name once, but I'm not good with names, so I forgot it. But she basically told Emma, "Are you okay?" And Emma was like, "Yeah," because she noticed Emma was acting weird. And then Emma finally realized there was a bump behind the ear of the baby, and Mama told her a couple years back that all the kids get that because they take out blood from there to check the baby's blood to see if there's anything wrong with them. And she must have thought to herself, oh wow, this must be where all the trackers are at, since this is what we all had since we were kids. But after after a while, it leaves. So Emma was like, let me report this back to the guys and tell them, hey, I found the tracker. So she told him, and everything worked out perfectly fine, I guess you could say, for the most part. But it gets kind of weird because Ray is he kind of being a snob. His attitude, he got that Sasuke type attitude. It looks like he doesn't care, but he really does care. As they talking and information wise. But then we get a scene where Mama and Sister Chrome are talking, and we find out Mama's name. Her real name is Elizabeth. I mean, not Elizabeth, Isabel. So Mama's name is Isabel, and Mama told Chrome, "I'm the head mama here, and you're just my assistant. Your job is to do what I tell you, and I just want you to be on the watch out for the kids." And Sister Chrome was like, "But if the kids know about what's going on, you have to report that." And she's like, no, these are my kids, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to make sure they get shipped off on time. This is a high quality place, and people need us. So Chrome went back to her room after this discussion, and this is when things get creepy, because Sister Chrome has a doll in her room, and this doll, it look like her, but kind of beat up-ish and stuff. She had it for years, and it looked like a raggedy doll, baby doll. And she's talking to it, and she's telling it not to cry. She's rocking it. Then she starts talking to herself, and she's thinking of ways that she can take over Elizabeth. I keep saying Elizabeth, I'm sorry. Isabel, how she can take over her place as mama and be the new head mama. All she has to do is find out who the 2 kids are from the elders, capture them, report them in with what Isabel's doing, and boom, she get fired, and Mama will move up from assistant to head mama. Because her dream is to be a mama. Because right now she's just an assistant. she's not actually a head of a household. Which she states that out of all the farms, Isabel is known as the top farm with the best products, which proves that what Elma and them thought was right, that there are other farms and other kids being produced as well. They just in the best farm known to Demon Word, so it's nice to get some world building while figuring out people's different places and roles in the story. And then we get to the second half of this episode, which is when things get super crazy and interesting. You would never thought a game of tag would be so deadly. But basically Norman and Ray and Emma came up with the idea how to train the kids to be able to defend themselves while running away from the demons when they get attacked, because it's going to eventually happen, especially since they have to run away from this place. The conclusion they thought of, let's play tag. And when we're playing tag, we train them to strategize, start thinking, how to run, how to control their breathing, and stuff like that. Things they're going to need, because they're going to be soon children on the run. So they start playing a game of tag every day and stuff like that. And Sister Chrome notices, and she's like, I want to play, because I want to get to know y'all more. And they would look hesitant and scared, but they say yes. But the thing is, she wanted to be it. So everyone left, and she counted to, I think, 10. And she was like, she started spinning around in her chair for her, saying, how am I going to catch these kids? And then the next thing we know, she just darted right into the forest at top speed. She's like a cougar on crack. Like, she was just, her ability to run is insane. And her physical strength is insane. I mean, we saw her break through a tree bark just to grab one of the kids. Like, that was insane. And she's catching all the young ones by tricking them. She took a whole bunch of leaves and she put different shape marks in them. Some squares, some circles, some stars, a half a moon, a full moon, stuff like that, the sun. Different shapes that would attract the kids to go near them so she could capture them. And she caught a lot of the young ones first. Then she caught Diane. Then she caught, I believe his name is Gil, the dark-skinned guy, tall. He's a year younger than Emma and them. She caught him, and then the girl with the glasses, with the bob haircut that Emma was talking to earlier. And she was catching all of them. And then she ran after two kids that she was about to catch with her little trick, but Emma stepped in, grabbed them, and picked them up and ran. And she ran after Emma, and she ran, until she got to this one area where there was nothing but rocks. And Emma and the kids disappeared, and she was like, So she started taunting Emma, saying what Ray's weaknesses and what's Norman's weaknesses. Then she got to Emma, and she's like, your weaknesses, that you're too naive. But don't worry, I'm on your side. And then we get this creepy, scene where Emma looks up, because they're hiding behind a tree branch, and when they look up, she's there. Not the regular Mama, but Sister Chrome, that mom. That sister, that's what I say. She's there, and she just has this creepy look in her face, while looking down over the kids, like some type of cougar, and it was terrifying. Like, as a kid seeing an adult do that, it's like, whoa. And even the way the animation was, it was kind of creepy. Getting goosebumps was watching the show, so it was like, whoa. But she caught the two last kids and the two last children and Emma, but she still had two people to go, the two smartest ones, Norman and Ray. And she only had 8 minutes and 40 seconds left, and she's running around, and she found them together, so she's running after them, and they have them splitting ways. Ray goes to the right, which is a forest area, and Norman goes to the left, which is an area where, she caught Emma and the kids, the rock area. And from being behind Norman and running into him in that area, Norman just disappears on her, and she's looking around like, huh? I was just running after you, where are you? And then the sun shines, because in that rocky area, there's like no gates and forests, so the sun is more there. And when the sun is shining, she looks up and kind of glares, and she sees Norman looking down on her and with an evil face. And she gets petrified, and she's like, so wow, this is top grades of the house. And then Ray comes up from behind her and just taps her on the shoulder. Game over. Time's out. And she was like, she felt so embarrassed and mad. Like, you can see in her face, like, she was like completely worried. And it got her mind confused. But that was basically the end of the episode. And yeah, things in this episode was really good. We had a lot of name drops, a lot of important stuff. Oh, and one important thing that I forgot to mention before I end this review, we find out that Isabel was talking to someone named Grandmom, and Grandmom is basically like the head mother of all the mothers of all the farms, and they all have to report to Grandmom, who reports to their boss. And they said something about they need a shipment out for a special day, and she was like, "Don't worry, tell the bosses I'm going to be able to ship out the best for that day." And she's like, "I hope you will succeed." And then they hanged up, and then we actually get to see one of the demon bosses, and he held in this weird rose that on top of that rose is a whole bunch of other red roses like combined to it, and they talking about how they can't wait for the party to start and stuff like that. And the dialogue between those demons was just weird, and seeing more of them up close and personal is even weirder. But I'm glad to mention that was very important of the episode, because now we know that the adults are not really being controlled by other adults, they're being controlled by demons. So of course though, that's kind of obvious since they raising kids for them, so they must work under them, so it was kind of obvious. But just to get that clarification, thanks to Isabel and her grandmom and the bosses scene, now that we got that clarification, it makes it better, because now we know that demons are on the top of the world and they're the ones controlling everything in this anime and stuff like that. And to see how the children are training, practicing with, running, it's pretty cool. Can't wait to see, what happened next and how they're gonna escape, and how they're gonna get rid of those trackers. Even though Ray said, "Let me take care of it, I have an idea." And I'm still suspicious about Ray. Something's up with him and his attitude. I'm not sure if it's his attitude and I don't trust him, but I have a feeling something up with them. And they also talked about how they could be a possible traitor amongst them, because saying that their mom, Elizabeth, knows too much for her to be able to hire another helper. It's like she knows who it is, and she's trying to pin them down and get them scared. So that was another thing mentioned by the kids, mainly Gray, Norman, and Emma. But again, this was a great episode. 3-episode ending with really, really good, really, really hype. People call this baby Death Note, and it really is. The emotion, the drama, everything is there. It's not exactly on that Death Note level, but it's building up to it, and it's a really good anime. For those who haven't checked it out, I said you just go check it out. It's real good, and if you already checked it out, keep with it, because it's gonna get better and better. But that's all I have for you guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your family and friends, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to get more. Follow me on Twitter. The link will be down below. And tell me your thoughts, what you thought about this episode, and what you thought about that game of tag and Sister Chrome. And tell me your thoughts on who the traitor might be, if you think who it'd be, and tell me, do you think it's Ray, since he's been acting shady or not? But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.